and so what we want to avoid, which will be the greatest temptation, we're not going to do church commercials. That's what we've done for the last 40 years, and it has failed miserably because there's been way too much focus on church and not nearly enough focus on Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the
And
truth.
so we shy away from the whole Jesus Christ thing, and we go toward church because we find that easier to talk about. But that's not what this is about. This is about loving others with the unconditional love of Jesus Christ, as we talked about earlier. It's about relating to others where they are and who they are and how they're living. And then the third thing is it's encouraging them. And so that's not all going to happen on one experience or encounter with them, but that's the long-term approach we're using to build those bridges of friendship and caring. And really, the more we can get of their story, the more we've got a connection to them, and the more of that bridge that we build, which results in trust. And that trust becomes the support that carries them and us together to be able to share more deeply about the things that are bothering us in life, and what our needs are and what our hopes and dreams are. We are generally able to ask people easy questions, simple questions, not how many books are in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
But, that's our fears. Are they going to ask us a question
Yeah.
like, there's very little chance that'll happen. Okay.
Right.
Very little chance. So what I'm saying is if you ask them, well, how have y'all been getting along? How have you liked living in the community, or what's been going on with your family lately?
Yeah.
Well, right there, 90% of the time they're going to come back and say, well, we've been so busy because our son plays little league, and he sprained his ankle and we had to take him to the hospital and get it x-rayed, and they said a sprain is worse than a break. And I mean, hey, I don't have to do anything. It's like, wow, well, where
Yeah.
did that happen, and what position does he play? And
Yeah.
just ask those questions. What position does he play? And how's his batting going? And did you play when you were young? Oh yeah, and so
Yeah.
right away you have opened up that channel for them to share with you their story, which makes them feel incredibly comfortable. And inside their spirit, they're saying, I like these people, because even though they said they were from some church and they may not remember the name, they don't seem to be doing anything to us,
Yeah.
because I'm expecting them to do something. They're going to
Yeah.
ask us for money, or they're going to ask us, do we know that there's a good possibility we may be going to turn? If we don't turn, we're going to burn, or
Right.
whatever. I mean, so all these stereotypes you mentioned earlier are
Yeah.
flying around in their heads. And so
Yeah.
it only takes about 2 to 4 minutes to just smash those negative stereotypes. And they say in their spirit, that's not who these people are. There's
Right.
something different about them,
Right.
because they seem to be very sincere, and they're asking us about ourselves and not telling us about their church.
Right.
And you know what? There are people out there today everywhere. We see them all the way from Utah to Savannah, Georgia, up to Minneapolis, all the way down to Miami, and they'll say to us, "Well, I know you said y'all are from a church. Well, we don't do church, so that means that's the end of it." And it would say, hey, that's not a problem. That's fine, because we're not here today to talk about church.
Yeah.
We're here today to do two things. We're meeting our neighbors, and we're making some new friends. And if you don't want any new friends, we probably ought to just end this right now. Yeah. So the other thing, Chris, about this, it's fun. It's going to be scary. It's going to be fearful. It's going to be all those things, because we're going to have to trust Jesus Christ and his power to, number one, get over ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't do that very well.
Right.
Nope, I'm protecting myself. I'm not going to be vulnerable in front of some person. But the thing is, can we be trusted with his power, which can put us with the people that he wants us to see, and he can put people in our path and in the checkout line at Walmart, or at the gas station or the grocery store or wherever, he can put that person right in our line, and we say, well, hey, how's your day going? Terrible. My husband came in last night and left me a little note in an envelope and said, the next call you'll get is from the lawyer. And now, if we're not cued in enough to know that was no coincidence, that was a divine appointment, and I wonder how many angels it took God to get that person and us in that checkout line. And so we don't say, well, we'll pray for you. All right, well, see you later. I mean, no, because we say, well, listen, I'd really love to let you know I appreciate you sharing that with me, and we would really like to pray for you in that circumstance. If you've got a minute, maybe we could go right over here to the Starbucks area and get a cup of coffee or a glass of tea or something. I'd love to hear how you're doing. It must not be a good time. And sometimes they'll say, great. Well, yeah, I'll come over there and visit with you. And so that's how God makes these linkages between people like us who have issues and problems and struggles and can understand somebody that's had a horrific relationship or an abusive marriage or whatever. And you know what? We can show compassion and caring, and that's what they've been praying for and not really knowing if God was hearing those prayers.
Yeah.